Hello, welcome back to Only Pistols. Today we're having a look at the Feinwerkbau C5. This is a 5-shot self-indexing 177 CO2 powered target pistol. Production date 1991. So let's start by having a look at some of the markings on it. So starting at the rear, you've got the windage adjustment on the sights, Feinwerkbau production facility at Obendorf, and on this side the German low pressure marking showing it's a low powered pistol, model C5, caliber, made in Germany, and the serial number and the elevation adjustment there. The other thing on this side, which you can't quite see very well, is that little window there, which is a cocked indicator. So when the pistol's cocked or the action's cocked, there's a little red disc that you can see, which disappears as soon as you pull the trigger. Otherwise, what have you got? Hardwood, 2-piece standard Feinwerkbau grip with palm shelf, and this is one of the versions that can actually be adjusted by up to 10 degrees. So I've got that set at maximum drop, so it makes it quite a drop wrist. Sights, standard Feinwerkbau sights on here, so nice wide, very visible sights. Adjustable for the gap, adjustable for width by moving this little tab here. So by adjusting that can move the width, and you can also adjust the foresight. You can change the foresight element, so you can make it wider or thinner, and that's just the standard Feinwerkbau little blade that drops in, and that's secured by this little nut on the muzzle. Okay, otherwise, what have you got? Well, it's a self-indexing pistol. So you've got a magazine and you've got the mechanism that actuates it. This is linked down into the pistol. So when you fire the pistol, CO2 is fired and that fires the pellet, but it also moves the carriage. And what it does is it pushes that backwards, and each time it goes back, it indexes the magazine across to bring the next chamber in line with the barrel. So when you've shot all 5, just take that out, and that's the magazine. And the magazine for this is steel. They did make them in aluminium as well. They're very rare. And you can see on the top there the teeth that make the indexing system. So it's quite a complicated bit of kit. And the steel ones I suspect probably last a bit better with these quite extended teeth. So let's have a look at how you load it. So it's CO2 powered. So you've got a standard Feinwerkbau cylinder, but it's the short one. So we've met this cylinder before on the Model 2. And just to give you an idea of size comparison, that's a standard C series cylinder. So as you can see, it's quite a considerably bit shorter. Still get in excess of 100 shots from it though, so you're not missing out there. I suppose you could put a full length cylinder on, but the balance would be a bit off. So cylinders are filled in the standard way. So for any CO2 pistol of this generation, what you have is a dry weight for the cylinder, so empty, so 0.225 of a kilogram, 225 grams, and a fill weight of 0.041 kilograms, so 41 grams of CO2. So you do that by filling it, you chill the cylinder down, attach it, in my case, to an old CO2 fire extinguisher, and fill that up. And then when you filled it, you measure the weight on a set of scales. If you're overweight, so if you've got more than 41 grams in there, you just release some off with a bleed valve. The other thing you get on all of the cylinders is they are all tapped at the end, so you can add Feinwerkbau weights. These came in a variety of weights. The heaviest one was 120 grams, just steel. Otherwise, taking the cylinders on and off, you have a Feinwerkbau provided spanner. Generally, you can do them by hand. If you've used the pistol fairly recently, then they'll come on and off by hand quite easily. So, how do you actually go about operating it? Well, you've got your cylinder, you've got your magazine. Use standard Diablo pellets. and you just literally drop those into the magazine like that. So that's the magazine filled, and they just push down flat, so you don't have to push them in or anything. They will drop out if you push them, or don't support them. But that's it, they're in. That then slides in there, and you're pushing it back against this recoil spring. So when you push the magazine in, the actuating lever lifts up until it's all the way across. When it's in the right place, that then locks down, and you're compressing a spring, which we'll have a look at in a second here. It also has a dry fire switch. So at the moment this is on dry fire, so with the pistol cocked, you can push that to fire, which is that position, or you push it through and you would then have a dry fire. So we'll put it live and we'll fire 5 shots. So there's quite a decent report with it, and actually quite a bit of recoil with it as well, considering it's a 177 CO2 powered pistol. So to reload it, just pull that out, and while we're here you can see this is the spring and plunger that pushes the load on, puts the load on the magazine. So that just can't really see it particularly well, but that's what's driving the magazine across, so held in spring tension. And this top plate here lifts up to allow the magazine through. So let's just quickly reload it. And this was production 1991. This was a year or two after Walther produced their CP5. So still there wasn't actually a competition for these pistols. And I think what you're looking at here is a pistol that was very definitely aimed at the training market for rapid fire. And you can see that really from the flyer for the adverts at the time. So with the pistol held, magazine inserted, and then you can fire this thing pretty quickly. Remove this magazine, and there you go. So there you go. Feinwerkbau C5, self-indexing, and that's important. It's self-indexing, so the magazine is indexed and it's not self-loading because the bullets or the pellets are not then pushed into the barrel. So it's a self-indexing pistol, which is important for the UK market. 1991 production, ahead of Steyr's ahead of the Steyr 5-shot pistol, and a couple of years after Walther's. An excellent pistol, great fun to shoot, and still usable today. Lengthwise, you're looking at something that's very definitely looking at the size of a standard 2.2 cartridge pistol, and I think that's probably where most of these were aimed, was at the training market. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, then please like, click, subscribe, and share with anyone who you think might be interested. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon with another pistol. Bye.